All right, with that said, everyone, welcome. My name is Fausto Pugliese, president and founder of CyberTrade University. I'm going to talk about understanding the basics of financial markets. So for everyone here, I don't know if you have any of you ever seen me do a presentation before? Just give me a quick yes or no. I want to see if people are still awake, actually. Honestly, it's really want to see what's going on. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good. Good. All right, so I have a very important question. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to make this very exciting for all of you, okay? My question to you, to everybody is this. How do stocks go up and go down? Now, if you can't answer this question, I think everybody should be quit trading right now. You should just walk out and don't even listen, don't take it in a bad way, just being very honest. How do stocks go up and go down? Let's see how everyone can answer this question, because I'm gonna make this event very, very exciting for you. And I'm going to get right into the meat and potatoes. Okay, supply and demand. Okay, how about just buyers and sellers? Could everyone just write BNS and not the BNS we're thinking about? Buyers and sellers. All right, everybody just write that in. You know what? Bob, I didn't hear from you. Bradley, I didn't hear from you. Just write buyers and sellers. All right. So I saw that some of you were just asking from the previous presenter, hey, could you look up AMAT? All right, so I'm gonna look up AMAT. I'm gonna bring up AMAT up here. Does everybody see my everybody see my platform right here? Okay, so my thing is this. We've all said something very important, and what was that? How do stocks go up? Buyers and sellers. Now I'm going to teach you how to read buyers and sellers. All right, so let me get my crayon out here. Hold on, there we go. There we go. Okay, go. Why is this not working? There we go. All right, there's my little red dot. Okay, so we're looking at AMD. All right, now AMD, it's up about $2, it's up $2.60. All right, now if you own this stock, if you own it, your goal is for it to go up, right? So, but what's everyone's game plan? Your game plan is, okay, when do I take a profit? So just looking at it, I wanted to give everybody a quick little test. Could you give me a ballpark of what you could see right here, where you think AMD will hit the next major resistance levels? Can anybody tell me? Where do you think the next major resistance levels by looking at these two charts on the left and the right? Where do you guys think? 120? Well, we're at 124, so can't be that. 126, okay. Anyone else? 130, okay. 130, 126. I'm writing this down. 130 again, okay, from another person. 130. Tom says 125, 126. All right. So it looks like everybody's predicting about 125 to 130. All right. Now, listen to me carefully. How much smarter and better trading decisions if I was to tell you that some of you were right and wrong, and you were able to see where 70% of the buyers and sellers are? Well, I'm going to introduce something to you called level 4. All right, let me bring this up over to you. Ready for this? See this little red line right here? There is 232,000 shares mixed up with algorithms, dark pools, high frequency trades, institutions, and brokerage firms. With all of them, you can see there is literally over, what is that? Probably about $30 million worth of stock that's sitting there at 130. Then you can see there's another 72,000 shares, 77 at 128, 59 at 127. And then for everyone that said 125, 126, guess what? There's a 64,000 share seller. And you know what? Today it did hit it and it came back down. So let's think about it. If the stock was to go up, the only way it can go up, it's got to get through that 64,000 shares. Then if it wants to go higher, it's got to get through that other seller at 127. But what everyone also, the main people that were the swing traders or maybe you're an options trader, what you were looking at was this. You were focusing on this big seller, and I'll draw that trend line for you. There is 130. And you could see back in June and July, that was a major resistance. And if you go down here to 125, you could see back here in June, it was a major resistance, and it's a major resistance today. Now, think about this for a second. How much smarter and better trading decisions if you were able to see a stock that you're in right now and be able to see the future and see those 70,000, 232,000. Did I get your attention? Well, guess what? You're at the right presentation, because now we're going to get into the fun part of it. So what I'm going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to teach you all exactly how does this work, and why am I listening to Fausto Pugliese? Who is this guy? Where did he come from? You know, what is he covering? Well, basically, just to tell you a little bit about myself, there's things that we're going to cover. Basically, I'm going to talk about how these institutions run these stocks. I'm going to talk about, how we find the stocks and moving over the course of the day. I'm going to talk about the fundamentals and these criterias of how to predict these big block orders, which we call iceberg orders. I'm also going to show you the tools that we use to follow what is called order flow, which you just witnessed. Now, before we move forward, before I lose anybody, okay, and I know some people are coming and going, if you have your phone with you right now, you could scan this QR code, because everything I talk about, I'm going to invite everybody here to watch this live in my trading room that I started over 30 years ago. Now, I started the first trading school in the industry. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, but if you want to get ready and jump onto it, anyone that does register right now, I will give you a personal free coaching class, because the reason why I'm here is I'm looking for traders I could teach that I could trade with. Okay, that's what I'm looking to do. And I'm just going to show you my trading room right now. So just to show you where we're at. And it might look a little confusing right now, but let me bring this up. These are all my traders right here. These are all my instructors. You got me, Josh, Alex, John, Richard, a few other ones are off today, but these are all my traders. And you'll see a stock that they're trading right now is called GameStop. It's going up. And you could see our traders in the chat. We're talking, we're doing live audio. If you register, this is what I'm talking about. This is the trading room we're going to be covering. Now, why am I listening to Fausto Pugliese? Who is this guy? Well, I'm a 12-time champion at the Money Show. I beat every single school I competed against. I'm actually a day trader. I'm one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. And I've been doing it ever since. I love what I do. But more important, I love teaching people like you how to do it the proper way, because trading is not to be successful. It's about controlling those losses, because we all know the reason why most of us are here to learn is we want to fix those losing propositions. And the losing is because a lot of you are keeping too focused on the past. I want to teach you how to read the future. Now, for doing over 30 years, I've been a speaker. I've rang the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange. That's actually was Steve Forbes. That, funny about this picture, that was his first time he ever did it too. So him and I we did it for the first time ever. That was pretty cool. I surround myself with some of the smartest traders. I live here in New York. Some of the biggest, most powerful traders in the world live in my town. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Unfortunately, you're not going to beat them. I hate to break it to you, but you could join them. When I showed you that 233,000 share seller at $130 on AMC, on AMD, you're going to be able to see that. You could be able to do that on Tesla. You're going to do it on Google. You could do it on GM. You could do, which, obviously heard the news today. Some of you heard about the buyback, but when you get in and get out of it, it's all about getting those crumbs on the floor. And that's what we're going to cover. Now, I'm also going to be live next week. I'm actually featured at NASDAQ. I actually teach you level 3. NASDAQ wants me to, I'm going to cover some of it also today in today's presentation. But, these are the people I surround myself. And, for me to be endorsed on these brokerage firms, believe me, they do their homework, because they know that if they had someone that knew what they were talking about and could teach you guys how to do it properly, you'll be able to do this for the rest of your life, because they don't want to see you lose money. They want you to see you succeed, because if you don't trade, they don't make any money. So at the end of the presentation, also, I'm going to give you a copy of my book. You go to Amazon, pay $47, but if you want to know how to beat the market makers at their own game, I'm going to give it to you if you register. Cool photo, a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. Forbes magazine wrote an article on us. So it's pretty funny about that picture. We used to trade on that 15-inch monitor and made money too. So but that's how long we've been doing it for. And let me tell you, nothing has changed other than when I used to trade, I used to pay $25 a ticket. Today, you get it for free. So little bit about myself. My parents are immigrants. I'm first generation Italian. My parents always taught me that if you want to be very good at what you do, you have to surround yourself with people that are very good at it so you could teach everyone else. These are all the traders that we've trained over the years. These are on-site classes that we do. You're more than welcome to ever come to New York. But the thing is, if you look at these photos, these people are just like you. They're grandmas and grandpas, first responders, engineers, teachers. I mean, the construction workers, cowboys. I mean, they're just like you. And the big thing between them and you is, we just want to make a day's pay. We're not looking to kill it. And that's what it's all about. But to do it properly, you got to know how to play the game. And playing the game is just following the money. Now, we've seen what happened with the market's been moving up pretty nicely the past couple of weeks. We've been having some nice little rallies on the NASDAQ, on the S&P 500. But there's more to that than meets the eye. There are also stocks that move with them. So it's not about, hey, Fausto, can I use this towards the S&P futures? Can I use this towards crypto? Yes, you can. But the thing is, why would you trade something so expensive or so risky where everyone else is traded when there's over 20,000 stocks to trade that will give you less risk with more reward? But looking at stocks like Tesla or their ETF or AMD and all these brand name stocks, how about something like PLTR that went from 18 to 1960, which is about 20 times less money? You could still do very well with these stocks. But I'm going to show you, it's all about following these big orders. Now, before we get all excited, I need to remind you, this is, very, very most difficult time of the year to hold some trades. Okay, we're going into the holiday season, but it is the best time to learn. So you could see the market had a really, really big run. Now it's starting to back off a little bit. We're getting to those big peaks, and I'll talk about it a little bit in the next few minutes. But it's all about just following, is the ride over, or where can we find something else? Because there are things moving every day. And there's several stocks out there, but you can't trade them all, and we're going to cover that. Now, a couple of rules I want to kind of cover before we go into finding out how to find these stocks and find these orders. Now, to get to know a little bit about everyone here, I have a question to ask everybody. And my question to everyone is this: what kind of trader are you? Do we have options traders in here, day traders, swing traders, crypto traders? Just out of curiosity, just let me know. Just want to see what kind of, so when I start showing you some stuff, I can kind of relate for the people that are listening and bring it to your attention. Okay, we got one person's a Forex trader. Okay, we got a day trader in there. Okay, anyone else? Now, just to let you know, as you're filling that out and putting in the chat, I preferably like to trade stocks because, I don't know, I live here in New York. It's the financial capital of the world. And I like to day trade specifically because I like to sleep at night. I don't like to hold overnight positions. Stocks can get destroyed overnight. One of the biggest cardinal rules you don't want to do. And if you, like I see one of the persons here, a couple of you putting options. Listen, you want to be a good options trader, you got to learn how to trade the stock first. It's the movement of the stock that makes an option move to make it worthy. Now, let's take a look at some overnight gaps that you got to watch out. Let's talk about SRPT. This is what you got to watch out for. Have you ever seen a stock go from 110 and open up at 60? Anyone ever happened to it? I know everyone goes out there and like, well, I never heard of this stock, or, oh, I like to trade stocks at X amount of dollars. But then some of you be like, well, I can't afford it, so we trade the options. Yeah, but you know what? If this ever happens, it'll put you out of business. So when it comes to trading, you got to know how to control losses, because losing money will put you out of business. It's all about, following, the orders, but also be very conservative. Now, the big thing that I was taught when I stepped into a meeting just like here, like you guys are doing, is to be successful, someone told me, hey, what tools do you use? And I'm like, I don't know. I use these Fibonacci's. I use these MACDs. They're like, well, are you an investor? Are you an analyst? Who taught you that stuff? So when it came out to it, I'm like, it made so much sense when someone brought this to my attention. They say, listen, why are you so focused on the past? Why are you learning something that a mathematician gave you? What about just following the orders out there? How much smarter and better trading decisions if you were able to see these big block orders? I said, I don't know, makes sense. Hey, listen, it was the first question I asked all you, everyone here. What makes these things go up and go down? You all said supply and demand. Guess what? I showed you supply, and I mainly showed you a big, I show you demand, but I mainly show you a big supply out there. And those supplies are what you got to look for before you get there. So let's talk about level 3 and level 4 really quick. Now, before I do that, does anyone here have level 3 or AK NASDAQ book viewer? Well, listen, banks and pension funds move the markets. You know what? Everyone can move the market if everyone's on top of it. The question is, you got to know where they are. I mean, how much smarter and better trading decisions would you have made if you knew where they were? And that's what we're going to talk about. So let's get right into it. Does anybody here have level 3 quotes? And the reason I'm asking you this is because when I was you 30 years ago, and I was losing money left and right, the first thing my mentor taught me when I went for a job as a trader, because back then you had to go work for somebody, they're like, okay, I'm like, like waiting and waiting and waiting. And by the way, you know what? I'm waiting for everybody else to get yes or no. And you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing crickets. You know what crickets means? I'll take that as a no. So let's think about this for a second. There are over 100 people, more than 100 people in this room. Nobody here has level 3 quotes. You probably have level 2. You probably have level 1 quotes, which just shows you the bid and offer. Nobody has it. Okay. Well, here's a picture of me at NASDAQ talking about it. And if you follow us on Twitter and YouTube, you can watch those videos. And if you do register, like I said, I'm going to be back there next week. But let's talk about what it is. All right. Now, it's time for you all to be very focused and pay attention, because what you're about to see is going to be extremely disturbing. And you're going to look at this and be like, holy crap, why was I not using this from the beginning? And believe me, it's going to make perfect sense. And if you don't understand, please be honest with me, okay? And I'll do things a little bit more slower. So I want to go out there and draw a couple of things right here. So here's your buyers, and here are your sellers, okay? Now this is level 1 quotes. This is the price of a stock. We're talking about Pinterest and where it's trading at. Now you have orders, you have shares, and you have the price that somebody wants to buy it for. And these are the price that people want to sell it, how many shares, and how many orders make up those shares. Now, the way you look at this is whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy it for less money is down at the bottom. Whoever wants to sell their stocks for the least amount of money in the market is up on top. Whoever wants to sell for more money is down at the bottom. So what you're basically looking at is a big chat room. And you're looking at every single order in the entire world on the exchange, what people want to buy Pinterest for. Now, listen to me carefully, because I don't know if this really sunk in, okay? You have a seat on the exchange. You could actually see everything. How many of you say, oh man, I wish I could have a seat on New York Stock Exchange, and I watch it on CNBC all the time. I see those guys running around. I wish I could follow Goldman. I wish I could follow BlackRock. Guess what? You can. It's right here. It's right in front of you. You're seeing every single order out there at every single price. Now, for some of you, you'll probably be like, well, Fausto, it's a lot of numbers. Yeah, we'll get to that, okay? Because I'm going to show you how to eliminate 90% of them. So let me just clear this out, and let me get back to my drawings. Okay, so let me show you how we use this data. Now, basically, we're looking at a firm, AFRM, right? The stock is basically coming down, 23 all the way back down to 20, okay? It hits 20, and what happened? It went up. Why did it stop at 20? 2. Why did it stop at 21? Why did it stop at 22.70? Why did it pick at that specific moment in time? 22 it bounced and went right back up to 22.70. Why did it pick that number? And I'll tell you why. If you look over here on the bid side, okay, you'll notice that when you work your way down, right here at 21.96, there are 24,000 shares looking to be bought. Now, there are buyers at every single price. You got 180 shares, 900 shares, 200 shares, 1,000 shares, 25 shares. The biggest block of orders out of every single price is sitting right at 21.96. Now, you might think that's a lot of shares. You might think that's a little. I could tell you it's a lot because most people out there are not buying 24,000 at every price, only specifically at that price. So once again, how do stocks go up? Buyers and sellers. Now, this is very important and that I want to cover. I want you to look up here on top. You see it says buyers equals support. See, everyone out there is always looking for support levels and resistance levels. So let me be clear. You cannot have a support level unless those buyers are out there. You cannot have resistance levels unless you have sellers out there. Everybody's looking for supports and resistance. Well, we know supports and resistance levels get broken all the time. Well, why are they getting broken? Well, maybe you didn't see the buyers out there. Maybe why is it breaking resistance? Maybe that seller was in the past, is not in there now in the future. It all predicates on orders. Let's look at a sell one example. DraftKings. Stock had a really nice move, went from like $30.60 and went all the way up to $34 in a matter of, I don't know, about an hour or two. And then it finally peaked out and it finally came back down to 31. Now, why did it stop at 34? Why did it stop at 32? Why did it stop at 33? What made it stop at that price? Well, it must have been a lot of sellers there. And the only way to see it is you got to look at the sell column and you got to work your way down. You see a lot of hundreds and 200, 500s. But when you see this, 5-digit number of 37,000 at $34.15, I would think that's a resistance. Don't take my word for it. You want to think you're smarter than him? You think your indicator's smarter than him? Okay. Well, listen, we're talking about, we're not talking about a couple of $1,000s worth of stock out there. Okay. We're talking over $1 million worth of stock. Let somebody get through him first, and then I'll take your word for it. But in the meantime, if I knew there was a seller out there, I'm getting out. That's the difference between buyers and sellers. Now, let's go over a couple of more examples, okay, and show you better of it. Let's look at Apple, okay? Now, Apple is going down, right? You ever own a stock and it's going down, you're like, like, what am I going to do here? Is the stock is this the bottom? I mean, what's going on with Apple? Okay. Now, can you all tell me, after what we just spoke about, what is going to make this stock stop going lower? And that is a question. Let me see if you can answer it. Let's see if everybody's been paying attention. I'm gonna take a sip of my soda here. I want to see everybody answer me back. All right, buyers. Rich said we need a huge buyer. Wow, you guys look how quick you go all starting to learn. Great. Now, here's a $64,000 question. Do you see any buyers on this chart? You guys see any buyers? No, right? No buyers, right? So how are we gonna see where the buyers are? I mean, how do we know when this is gonna stop? You own a stock you're losing money on. You're like, my God, what do I do? Do I get out here? I mean, like, I don't know. Do I add another indicator? Do I listen to another schmuck on TV? Do I look on the internet and see what's going on Benzinga or Yahoo? I mean, what do I do? You gotta see where the orders are. So we're going to go check on the NASDAQ exchange because you all have access to it. And we're going to notice, we're going to look at the buy column and we're going to see, okay, we got we got about a 51,000 share buyer, 19 orders right around here, around $18, $184.25. So we're almost there, we're almost there, but that's probably where I would probably feel comfortable that that's a support level. Now, don't take my word for it. I mean, that's a pretty big order compared to every other order, every single price. Well, look what happened here. Hit that price right around 10 o'clock in the morning, tested it, and went right back up to 185. So listen, if you're long, if you're, let's say, or if you own the stock, you're losing, or unless you say, I like Apple, it's going down, I want to get that opportunity to get a good price at it. There's your opportunity. Is this available for retail traders? Absolutely. First of all, why would I tell you this if it wasn't available for retail traders? Okay. Of course it is. Of course it is. All right. Let's look at another example. Revlon. This is a great example. Okay. News came out on it. They beat earnings. The stock is going down. You're like, oh my God, what the hell? What happened here? I own a stock. They had beat earnings, and why is it going lower? Well, the big thing is this. Where is the top? Like, where's the bottom, and then where's the top going to be? What is going to make the stock go up and go down? Those buyers and sellers. So we need to go check out the orders and need to know why it's going to hit a support level and why it's going to resistance level. So when you look at this and you saw the stock going up and it came down and now it's ricocheting and it's doing a slingshot on the way up, you got to have a game plan. And the game plan is, where are the sellers on the stock? And when you look over here on the sell side, you'll notice the biggest block order is sitting out there at 1638. Well, guess what? Once that stock had a big slingshot from 1520, it went all the way to 1640, right from 1130. Okay, hit it, came down, hit it, came down, hit it, came down, hit it, came down. For all day, it just did not want to get past 1640. I mean, why is that? And I'm telling you what it is. That guy's not moving. Okay, unless somebody buys it from him. If anybody here wants to buy it from him, knock him out of the way. Until somebody does it, it's not going anywhere. Now, the question that one of you are asking me is, where can I get NASDAQ Book Viewer? Okay, because it's available for retail traders. Well, this is what I'm going to do. Take down my email, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'll email all of you how to get it. And let me tell you something that's even more amazing about this product, okay? First of all, I don't work for NASDAQ, okay? I'm only here to help you. But let me tell you what happened. 30 years ago, I was introduced, something like similar like this, these ECNs, which were called Instanet back then. And, I blew up 2 accounts, to be honest with you, for just plain old ignorance. I was 22 years old. I thought I knew everything. And I was sitting in a boardroom, to try to get a job at a trading firm. And they was explaining, I did a class, and they wanted to see if everybody catched along, which looks like a lot of you are here. And the first, what they told me? Okay, now to get this platform, it costs about $1,000 a month. And I'm like, 22-year-old spending $1,000 on this platform. I'm like, I got to make 1,000. You know what $1,000 was 30 years ago? It's like paying like 5,000. You know what the company said? Who's here thinks it's worth it? And guess what? A few of us raised our hand. He says, the rest of you, you're fired. You can all leave now. Bye-bye. We don't need you. Good luck with your trading. Now, by the way, let me just remind you something. Do your homework. Trading is an 80% failure rate. Why would anybody want to get into this business knowing that you only have a 20% chance of survival? Well, I'm just telling you why your people don't survive, is because they don't have the right tools. Well, guess what? And I know for a fact a lot of you here are going to be like, okay, I need to see a little bit more, Fausto. I'm not willing to pay 1,000. It doesn't cost 1,000 today. It doesn't even cost 500. It doesn't even cost 100. You know what it costs? $15. $15 to have a seat on the exchange, what could have cost you over a few $1 million 30 years ago. And I had to pay 1,000 just get this data. Now, if you think that you have access right now to see 70% of the market volume and it's not worth $15, then trading is not for you. Okay? So I just want everybody to understand something. Every one of you are going to have to invest some type of money to get the right data. And if anyone is here, and please, once again, I'm sorry if I'm a little brash, but I'm just being very honest because I care about your money like it's mine. If you're looking for free stuff, you're wasting your time. Nobody works for free, okay? You don't want me to work for free for you. You don't want David to work for free for you. You don't want Anka working free for you. You get what you pay for. That's my father taught me. All right. So if somebody asks you it's free, you say, okay, what's the catch? So $15, you have a seat on the exchange, you see where those orders, and you don't tell me that you wouldn't make $15, on what you just saw, just on this alone. All right. Now, yeah, I guess everyone has my email. Let me put it up there. So just just write me. All you gotta do is just email me and just say Fausto, level 3. That's all. You don't have to write me a whole paragraph, your life story, whatever. So just and I'll tell you where to get it. And what I'll do is I'll even give you a couple of workshop videos how to use it. All right, now let's go to level 4. Now, if you go level 3, it was pretty cool. Wait till you see this. This will really blow your mind. All right. So level 4 is basically going to show us the same thing that we'll see on level 3, but we're going to see it on a heat map. So remember I showed you this trade right here? Remember I showed you AMD and I showed this 232,000 share seller at 130. And then we could see this other seller out here. You could see it right here at 126. You can see how it made a nice little run at the open. This is basically what you see on the right, these numbers. That is actually the book viewer. Let's call it the book viewer. It's called current order book. That's what COB means. And then now you're
Trader's book on
oops,
back.
sorry about that.
Wednesday afternoon.
I said that was our afternoon meeting in our live trading room with Josh, one of our instructors. So getting back to where we are, now we're seeing it like here's 9:30, and you can see when he started and where they're at. What you're seeing right now is called program trading. Now, some of you are like, wait a minute, I can see programs. I can see it. Yeah, you could. It's right there, right in front of you. And I'm happy to show it to you because I hate seeing people lose money doing it. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to show you how we do like ladder effects, like this 100,000 share buyer, how we keep canceling, buying, and so on. So let's go. Let's look at a couple of things on support levels. All right. So let's look at Revyon. Okay. So here's a stock. It's going down, and you'll notice this big red line at the bottom. This big red line is a 949,000 share. That's 1 million shares. You're talking $18 million is looking to be bought at $18.20. Now, theory is you'll think, oh, that's got to be a big support level. It's got to go up. Well, guess what? Buyers can get hit. You see support levels all the time. You'd be like, wait a minute, I don't understand. How did that stock break? I thought Fausto told me that was a big buyer. Well, listen, someone sold it to him. Look at this little red bar down here at the bottom. Does everybody see that right there? Look at this. That was a big ass order. You see that ball? Red means transactions went off on the bid. Those are the time in sales. That guy got executed. Now, if you saw a big piece of foundation and like, oh, those foundations, they're made never to break. Oh, really? Did you ever see a sinkhole? You'd be like, oh my God. Sorry for that person. Well, no different than trading. So can support levels get broken? Absolutely, it happens. So that's one of the power things that you see on level 4. And by not seeing that, that stock went from 1880 all the way down within 45 minutes down to 1680. Look at that chart. It went down. Because once that big block order got done, see you later. And what ended up happening? Does a stock go to zero? No. Now all of a sudden at 10:30, we got a new buyer that showed up, 350,000 shares. In theory, what is that called? Support levels. What happened? Hit that support, and now the stock went back up to 17. So listen, stocks go down and stocks go up. How do they go up? A lot of sellers. How do they go down? How do they go up? A lot of buyers. How do they go down? A lot of sellers. Buyers and sellers are always showing up. Okay, you just got to know where they are and you got to be prepared. Now, we're micromanaging this a little bit more in a day trade, but like I told you, this does work on swing trades and it will help you on your options trades. Let's go see when the stock reverses from the resistance levels. So here we're looking at PLTR, stocks going up, and all of a sudden you got this 141,000 share seller that showed up right around here. And not even one, but you had two. You had one at 1765, another one at 1750. So what's happening here is that not only that, but over time, the seller kept sitting there and hitting resistance and hitting resistance and hitting resistance, never wanted to break it. And as I move out, you could see how predominant it is, and here's another example. A stock that we were trading had a big run up. Stock went from 21 all the way to 24. All of a sudden, right around when the market opened up, when the stock finally reversed, all of a sudden this big seller shows up for about 100,000 shares. Hit it, came down after about 10 minutes. Stock hit it, broke right through it, and the stock just made a new high. So you could see how it could, and this is what we call channeling. Channeling means it tested a big resistance and it kind of hovered at that resistance. And eventually someone says, yeah, you know what? I like the stock, ends up buying it. And that's what you call a breakout. But to see breakouts, you have to see that seller gets done, and that part of it gets done on time and sales. Now, what I like to do right now, fellow traders, is I want to have some fun. Okay. I'm not a big fan of PowerPoints because, listen, I could cherry pick and make it look so easy. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Okay. So I want you all here to tell me a stock and that you're in. I want people that are telling me in stocks that you're in. And I want to see how you know where to get in, where to get out, because this is what you need to learn and what we teach at Cyber Trading University. So can anyone just give me a stock that anyone that's in a position or a stock? Shopify, Tesla, okay, EXAS. All right, we'll look at Tesla because I have Tesla up here. Let me minimize this. All right, let's bring up Tesla. All right, so Tesla is basically the most searched stock on the internet, Tesla. So first thing you have to ask yourself, and by the way, you all should contribute, okay? Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. No one's going to make fun of you. You're better off getting it wrong here than having it real money because, obviously you can see Tesla's not doing too well. So looking at Tesla right here, what is the direction of the stock? What's it doing? Is it going up or going down? It's going up on the long term, but on the intraday, it's going down. Okay. Now, why is it going down? Well, you could see from here, you had resistance levels at 255. And right now, we're at this price right here, 244. You can see we're breaking a new low. Now, the question is, where's the next support levels? Does anybody know? Let's see if you guys can answer this question. We see resistance levels. We're breaking all-time lows right now in the day. I don't know. Does this help you? Long-term chart here? What do you think? Let's see if you guys can figure this out. Here's our resistance, right? Support at 237. All right, let's put your number there, 237, which is right around there. All right. Anybody else want to add to that? 223. Okay, let's get that one. Now we could do, like I said, we're doing it not just on a day trade, we can do it on a swing trade. So 223. So you're right around here. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anyone else? Nobody else? Come on, take a shot, somebody. Lie to me. Lie. Okay. I don't want to put you in too much pressure. All right. So let me zoom in over here for you and show what we got. So I'm seeing more of a resistance. You can see the stock's going down, right? I can see we got a lot of support levels around 240. And let me just draw some charts right here. You can see right there, right? Back on in August. September, you got supports, a lot of action right here. And right here, you can see big resistance levels. I'm not seeing a lot. I'm seeing more up here. But 240 does look like some type of a support. And then obviously right here, this 30 number, you can see support levels there and right here. Okay, now let's go see the telltale sign. Let's go see what the market's doing. So let me clear this out and blow this up for you and see where all the orders are. So we got a 300,000 share seller at 255. Okay, that's about let me get my math. 255 times what was that? 250. It's about $76 million worth of stock. Okay. You also got a seller right here for 100,000 shares at 220, at 252. And then you got a big buyer right here at 240. Now, I'm not seeing any other buyers out here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. No one really at 230, but those really are the big sellers and buyers right around those numbers. Okay. So you got 260, 255, 252. And over the course of the day, how did that work out? 240, 252. Okay, so everybody write those numbers down. So you got 255 for about 250,000 shares, right? Is that what we said? Yeah, 300,000, 300K, right? And then we got a little closer here, 252, give or take, when you add that up, about 100 and almost 200K. Got another, not a really big buyer, but 240. All right, so let's look at the chart. What do we figure out? So we said 230, which is here. No, 240 we said. 240 makes sense. Support levels here. Resistance, support, that makes sense. We also said 255, which is here. Makes sense. A lot of resistance levels here, here, and here. And we also said 252? Which is right around here. Not the biggest, but I could see it long term. Okay, not terrible. So you kind of could see where the past is predicating what's happening in the future, because those orders in the past, looks like some of them are still out there. Okay. So anybody want to look at any questions? Any other questions? All right. Give me another stock. We'll do one more stock because we're running out of time here. Anybody have another stock? Look at another one. PLTR. Okay. So PLTR, I got to bring up the level 4. PLTR. And you can see it's not really doing too much today. You can see it's got resistance levels, been hovering here around 2130. And then right now it's like testing these lows right here. So PLTR, looking at it, you know, it's got some supports levels right here around 1980, right? And right around there. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. Pretty good. Look at this one. You got 144,000 share buyers sitting right here at 1980. You got another 189,000 share seller at 21. Now we're at 21. That's a little bit higher. It's right here. You can see other sellers out here, 90,000 at 2050, 75,000. But the two really big orders are right here. 1980, which is a big support, it looks like, and a big seller at there 21. So you could see, you know, the really big swings are right there, you know, a little bit less than 21, but there was some sellers out there right around that 2030, not a big one as much. All right. Now, any questions, fellow traders? Any other questions? I'll do one more. Okay, I'll do one more, and I'll get everyone registered. I want to come up again. I want to look up another one. Let me look. Amazon, James. Let me see what Amazon looks like. AMZN. You know, I'm shocked. There are so many other stocks that you guys could be trading right now that have such less risk and more reward. I'll give you an example. Did you guys see VVOS today? Up 470%. Anyone saw that? This morning it started right around $12. Let me just show you in our trading room. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to our alert service, but I'll just show you right here. This is our morning watch list right here. Everybody see that? See VVOS? First stock on that watch list. Coin, GM. Look up all those stocks. GameStop. You see where those stocks are today? Let me just show you. But it's amazing how everybody's looking at stocks that are just not really tradable. What did I mention? VVUS, that thing's up. When we called it out this morning at 9:16, you could see that was like right around here. Look what that thing did. GM really didn't go anywhere because that was the earnings announcements. Foot Locker up 16%. GameStop up 26%. That's moving up pretty nicely. Coin's been a swing a swing trade for us. But Coin, you can see it's been up 70. You could go back and backtrack us and see all these things that we traded. But how do we know they're going up? We're following orders. That's all we'll do is following orders. Now, let me go back because I want to go back to someone that said about the Amazon trade, because Amazon also looks pretty decent too. So you got Amazon. And I mean, I don't know what your game plan is, on your Amazon, but I could tell you this. There's a huge seller right up here. You could see clear as day that resistance levels long-term is right below 150, right? And you could see here even on the intraday, right around 148, okay? And you could also see here, we got some support levels right around here. And you can see right around there. Okay, you guys ready for this one? You got a 75,000 share seller, 149. You got another 41,000 share buyer, 145. So just between those two numbers, but there's an 800, not 75,000, an 800,000 share. That is literally almost 150 million. No, it's about $130 million worth of stock is looking to get out of 150. Okay. Now, what was the high? Did you, by the way, did you need an indicator to tell you that? I just showed you the future. And here you are watching, like, oh, but now it's going down. Well, should I hold on to it? Maybe it'll break 150. I hear good things about it. Yeah, let somebody get past 800,000 shares. Don't worry about it then. Is your system more for scalping or short term? It's for everything. It's for options, it's for swing trading, and it's for day trading. And by the way, you could also use this for cryptocurrency. You could also use this for futures trading. Okay. Now, who here wants to learn more? Because I want to invite all of you guys to come and watch me do this live. So let me get right to it. But before I do that, let me just tell you something. CyberTrade University, we've been in business for 30 years. We're endorsed by more brokerage firms than anybody in the industry. NASDAQ, Bookmap, TradeStation, Charles Schwab. I've done presentations for every one of these companies. And let me tell you something. If you're worried about, our history and want to find out, the good and bad, believe me, these brokerage firms already did it for you because they would never let us talk if things didn't work out for us. And not only that, you check out our Google reviews. We've got pretty much a 5-star rating. A lot of people have a lot of good things to say about us. And let me tell you, it's because what we teach, you know what I mean? You get to see what's going on, you get the coaching, get all that good stuff. Now, what I want to do is invite you all to see this live in the market, every one of you, okay? Because for one whole week, just to see what it's about. And not only that, don't listen to us. Our goal is to teach you how to think for yourself, but I want you to see the other traders, how they think for themselves. That's what it's all about. And I'll show you the traders right now. Look at them. Look at Wendy. Look at Bill. Look at John. These are all people that are trading and they're talking to each other and they're working together. Bill Ireland. I mean, these are all people that are just like you. They're all trading. And I want you to see if what we taught them, if it's working. Now, this is what we do. We have live audio commentary from 9 a.m. to 10:30, and then we have the afternoon from 2:30 to 4, okay? We also have a weekly Q&A workshop, so you're going to get all the stuff for one whole week, all right? And all it's going to cost you is $9. Now, listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking for free people. I can let everybody here come in for free, okay? I'm not looking for that. And I'm not looking to charge any more or whatever. I'm not looking to scam anybody here. I just need to make sure that you're a real person. Like, first of all, Web83, I don't know who you are. Tubo, Rush 0972, I don't know who you are, okay? You know who I am. You're going to know who these people are. But all I'm asking is for $9, and I'll give you money back guarantee. I don't need your $9, okay? I'm just looking for serious traders. But if you want to know how to read the market, and you want to know why I was 12-time world champion, if you want to know why we're endorsed by a brokerage firm, here's your opportunity to figure it out. Now, you're going to get a bunch of stuff. I'm going to give you my book, okay? It's a fast read. It's color. It's awesome. It's going to teach you how to beat market makers at their own game. You're going to get workshops. You're going to get Traders Talk Library. And then also as a bonus, to everyone that registers right now, I will personally give you a coaching class. I will actually talk to you on the phone. The reason why I'm willing to do that is because I'm looking to recruit traders. I got to make sure that you obviously are qualified for the job. A lot of you here, trading's not for you. And I know a lot of you have never spoke to anyone on the phone before, but I will make that investment. All you have to do is just get your phone, click on that QR code, and scan that and get registered. It's all you need to do. Or you can go to ctu.co/trial. Well, with that said, everyone, does anyone have any questions before we end up? Any other questions? You want it? Well, no problem. I want you to join too. Listen, I only was able to kind of spend about 30 minutes to kind of show you the big iceberg orders on Amazon for 800,000, AMD, those big sellers of 65,000, the 230,000. I mean, look at these sellers out here. When's the last time you ever seen this before? Or knowing what they're doing. I mean, I didn't even tell you why they're even out there. I didn't even tell you learn if they're going to refresh or anything like that. I'm just keeping it simple, black and white. Think how much you're going to learn in a week. Does BookViewer work with actual options? Listen, let me be clear on options. First of all, if anybody's here has been doing something more than 3 months and you're not making money doing it, you probably got a bad instructor or who taught you how to do it, or it's not for you, which is okay. All right. But if you want to be good at options, you got to learn how to be a good stock trader first. If you can't make money by trading the stock, you won't know how to be a good option trader, because it's the movement of the stock that makes an option move. So if you know what the stock is doing, then you know which option to trade. You don't want to get caught up on the whole, what's that word I'm looking for? Leverage thing. You know what I mean? Do you use price order flow system with any other indicators? I just follow orders. That's it. Listen, the more stuff you have up there, the more you got to think, the more it's going to slow you down. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. Listen, if you can't make money with one monitor, there's no way you're going to make money with 4. Well, I could tell you that. But once again, these are all the things that you're going to be getting, all the great stuff that you're going to be getting for it. And like I told you, if you're not happy after a week, I'll give you money back. I'm just looking for serious people that are interested. Remember I told you when I started, I lost money when I was 22 years old. I'm 52, it's 30 years ago. And I took a job. I said, you know what? I want to go work for somebody. I was like you, but I had to go into Manhattan. I had to put a suit on. I had to listen to this whole presentation. And the first thing they asked me is, okay, are you willing to pay $1,000 a month for this data? Okay. And, 95% of people did not raise their hand. And they said, okay, goodbye. You're done. Good luck with your trading community. You guys all hired. Okay. And you know what? It worked pretty well for me. So I'm not asking for 1,000. I'm asking for 100. I'm asking for $9. Okay. So if you don't want to raise your hand, I'm not the right person for you. But if you like what you see, take a shot. And like I said, we'll go from there. All right. All right, everybody. Any last minute questions? Any other questions anybody has? Now, as you're registering, just also keep in mind that everybody here registers. You're going to there's going to be an appointment setter there, and also you're going to be talking to an education advisor. So before you get into the trading room, we want to make sure we're able to show you all the videos and the lessons, all that stuff, where to find it. Is Total View the same thing as Level 4? No, no. Total View is more Level 3. Level 4 is more of a book map. Do you scan for stocks? Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to teach you how to scan for the stock. What we do is we make a watch list. And from that watch list, you need to know where to hit the button, because we're not going to tell you what to buy and sell, because that's illegal. We can't do that because we're not registered. But we're going to show you where they are. Hey, listen, you ever hear the phrase in the Bible, feed a man a fish, you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. We're going to teach you how to go fishing. We know where the fish are, but you got to go catch them. Okay. All right. So with that said, everyone, I have to go because I have my son's. I want to catch up the last hour of the market closes, and then I got my son's first wrestling match, and it's about an hour away. So, but David, thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure talking to everybody here. And listen, you got some great presenters here. I know there's a lot of content that's going to be coming on. A lot of speakers are going to be out there. But listen, you should listen to everyone. You should buy a couple of them from everybody. Take your time, be patient. I could guarantee one thing: stock market's not going out of business. But don't go out there and, this is a great time to learn, because the holiday season, things start getting a little slow. Things will start picking up in January. But take the time to learn a little bit from everybody. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. David, Anka, thanks for having me again. And everyone, happy holidays.